In the heart of the podcast air, Steve or Jason showing flair. Fantasy tips they always share, for the elite who really care. Shout out to the guests who come along, strategies that make us strong, plotting moves that can't go wrong. In this community we belong. Elite FPL, the lights they glow, through the ranks we start to flow, with every tip the game we know. Elite FPL, let's go. Elite FPL, let's go. We analyze, we create, every game week we debate, from the captain to the late, moves that make us celebrate, points and transfers we all crave, following leads to the brave. In this league it's more than a game, fantasy football's true aim. Fantasy football's true aim. Elite FPL, the lights they glow, through the ranks we start to flow, with every tip the game we know. Elite FPL, let's go. Elite FPL, let's go. Let's go. Elite FPL, let's go. Let's go. We analyze, we create, every game week we debate, from the captain to the late, moves that make us celebrate, points and transfers we all crave, following leads to the brave. In this league it's more than a game, fantasy football's true aim. Elite FPL, the lights they glow, through the ranks we start to flow, with every tip the game we know. Elite FPL, let's go. Elite FPL, let's go. Let's go. Elite FPL, let's go. Let's go.
Hello everybody and welcome to yet another episode of the Elite FPL Sunday Surgery with myself, Jason, and to the left or to the right of me on screen, Steve-O. Hello Steve-O. Hello Steve-O.
Hello, mate.
You
As every
know,
Londoner says, hello, mate. Yeah, hi.
yeah, kind of. Can you tell I've watched Man United today? You can tell, can't you?
God, that was dreadful.
It started off well, and then I was like,
Yeah. And I thought, brilliant. I've gone and won a bet, Rashford to score and Man United to win. And then for some reason you went, we'll talk about it in a minute, then all of a sudden it just
it
like,
fell apart. Yeah, it's the same old shit.
Mazraoui scored a good goal then. I thought that was quality. Very lucky that didn't end up as a -2, whatever it is, for an own goal.
Well, yeah, because if the ball wasn't going on target, I bet you were worried at one moment, like, oh God.
Yeah, I saw it took a deflection. I didn't know who, and then obviously it showed it was Mazraoui. I'm thinking, this is going to go down as an own goal, isn't it? Obviously,
yeah.
So
We'll talk about all the games. We'll talk about this evening's game, and we'll see what the chat are saying. I mean, I've already made a transfer already, and I'd like. Pete asked me, a friend of mine, how's my fantasy football doing? I'm like, I'm not really
Hello, Jess.
I'm not really bothered. You know, Steve-O's doing well, though.
Well.
I sent him a screenshot of what I was thinking of doing. Do you want me to forward you the screenshot?
You don't need to forward me. Just tell me on here. It's just...
So what I was going to do earlier on, because I couldn't be bothered. This during the last moments of the abysmal game that earlier on, I was going to bring Amad Diallo in for Bruno Fernandes to free money up to bring in Isaac for Raul Jimenez and Cunha for Welbeck. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm just, just having, I'm just sabotaging my team, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it doesn't matter now. I haven't done it. I've done one transfer, and the transfer I did do was prior to this this game.
Go on, let's hear it.
I did. What's his face? Rico Lewis out. For Mazraoui. And for the fixtures are good, and I think.
Well,
it's all right.
I mean, will Mazraoui even keep his bloody place? It didn't exactly look great there, did it?
Well, he was one of the better players today for United at the back. I mean, to be honest, he was the better of the bad lot. Amad Diallo stood out to me, though. I really like the look of him. But yeah, just I mean, it doesn't really bother me now. Just do what I want to do at the end of the day. Green arrows, red arrows, it's all the same to me. It's not like it's not like I've got anything to play for. Shigeru is here saying Salah lost a bonus point on 2 now. Oh.
Yeah, I've just seen that. Szoboszlai. You know, in fact, something that I cope with regarding the points is the fact that I'm just glad that I've got Salah. I've missed out on 12 points. That's it. No, sorry. I've missed out on, 12 points from the Salah captaincy. That's it. Not captaining him. And the fact that I didn't play Cunha over Johnson, which was Ray's plan. I didn't really like it, but whatever. Just some freak result for Cunha to come through with what he did. But other than that, I am very happy with how this game has gone, because what me and Ray discussed last night was I don't really need to touch my team till game week 15. My team is looking really good for the next 2 game weeks. Next week, absolutely outstanding. It's really, really good on paper, but it's all down to Lewis Dunk, whether he plays or not, which I don't think he will do. So
I'm going to 4-5-1 next week.
4-5-1? Yeah, go on. Who's going to be the one striker then?
Welbeck. I'm benching Raul Jimenez away at Tottenham.
Right.
And I'm going to play Gvardiol, Gabriel, Mazraoui, and Aït-Nouri.
I'd rather play Jimenez over Gvardiol.
Well, I was playing with it, but Gvardiol, I feel he's playing really attacking. He was so high up.
Yeah, he's got Liverpool next.
Yeah.
He hasn't got Southampton or I don't know.
I had Raul Jimenez, but I've just switched it to a 4-5-1. I don't know. It looks all right. I don't know. See what happens. I might play him.
I'd play Jimenez over Gvardiol.
Right, I switched it. See if it doesn't work out, then it's all your fault.
Well, no, it's just a simple fact that Liverpool, the way things are going right now, they are going to wash aside Man City. I'm not suggesting 2 or 3 goals, but certainly I would think 1-0, 2-1, something like that. I do think that there's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Do you want to just quickly go for your team, Jace? Because you're going to be all out like me now, aren't you?
I don't really want to go for my team, but okay, fine.
You've had a captaincy success today. Should be very happy. In fact, I'll be honest with you, quite fortuitous, I have to say, Salah.
Look, it's not just me that's got the luck of the captain. He was the most popular captain pick just because you would decide to go against the grain.
Well, no,
I
went
with a very poor Man City.
Well,
team.
Now we now know that there's some issues going on at Man City.
I'm sure we knew 24 hours ago, Steve. Something wasn't going right.
No, I think most people thought that going into the Tottenham game that Man City.
When I saw that KDB hadn't started, I was like, yeah, this is going to be shit.
He did change things around when he came on. It did worry me.
Yeah, he did. He when KDB came on, they played a lot better, and makes me kind of wonder what would have been different if he had started. I mean, I'm not saying
they'd have won. I'm telling you that.
So, again, Haaland, you can't say he didn't have chances though. He was wasteful, mate. Wasteful. He must have had about 6 or 7 chances, decent chances in that game, and he headed it over. He blasted it wide. Just didn't seem to be very composed at all. Very much, almost a sign of almost desperation to try and score.
So
trying too hard.
Why is he doing so well for international or even in the Champions League, and yet in the Premier League he can't hit a cow with a banjo, or whatever Dan said to me earlier on?
I don't know. It must be pressure. I don't know, man. It's obviously a phase. I don't think Haaland's not going to go on a goal drought of 8-10 games. I think it's going to be the typical Haaland that people lose faith, get rid of him, and then he scores 4 goals against Liverpool. That'll be funny. But in the seriousness, my team is here on screen. 56 points. I did a -8, so obviously 48. So pretty much crappy situation with Gvardiol and De Bruyne both getting me nothing.
What did you think?
Welbeck, Raul Jimenez. I just thought, it's just my season. This is just my season. Well, again, the thing is, I could have played Rico Lewis as well and got an extra 0 points. No, but yeah, it's just what it is. I can't really complain. I mean, I got points from Saka, got some points from Salah, and that was about it. Obviously, Gabriel clean sheet. But I know that you mentioned on stream about what I would have had if I hadn't done the -8. But you know what?
What was it?
Yeah, it was like 12 points or something.
I don't know, whatever it was.
Eh?
Because who did you get rid of?
I
got done nothing.
I got rid of Haaland, who did nothing. I got rid of Mbeumo, who did nothing. I got rid of Raya, who got a clean sheet. And didn't you get bonus?
That's right. Raya and someone else, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was Raya, Mbeumo, and Haaland.
Wasn't there someone else? No?
No.
Okay. So you were up by... That was just without doing anything. That's 6-7 points for them.
So you got 6. Ray got 6 points. So,
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I really don't care. It's like, I don't care. I've lost any care, mate, in the world. I'll talk about fantasy football, but I don't really care about fantasy football from my team point of view. I really have not got a care in the world. And I'm like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Couldn't care less. Might drop. Walk away. Had a miserable week, says Lucas Dunn. I wildcarded. I got 54 points with Isaac and Hall to play. If I knew Saka was going to play, I would have gone... If I knew Saka was going to play, I was going to have instead of Bruno, and I should have gone Pedro over Welbeck.
Yeah, but again, you're speaking absolute twaddle, Lucas. You got 54 points with Isaac and Hall left to go. You're just speaking with hindsight. Oh, I would have got Saka instead of Bruno. Oh, I would have got Pedro over Welbeck. What if it being the other way around, you would have been like, oh, my wild cards just have to take it on the chin. Welbeck's still a very good option to have for Brighton. Their fixtures are just absolutely outstanding. He's nailed on, and you don't need to do anything with him. Just leave him. Look at this. Look at it. Southampton, Fulham, Leicester, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Brentford. Ludicrous. Just stick with Welbeck.
Who's the captain this coming week then?
Well, I've got it on Salah, But
I'm not going to be captaining Salah.
no,
Saka for me, mate, all day long. Saka, boom.
Well, who's Arsenal got?
Away at West Ham.
West Ham. I wouldn't be captaining Saka in that game. West
Ham.
Ham
Maybe Palmer at home to Aston Villa.
Yeah, it's either Palmer for me, but I want to look at the history between these teams. But it's either Palmer for me or Palmer. Because I'm not going to
Saka, I am tempted with Saka, to be honest, but Palmer might be the better one because he's at home.
Yeah, I think at the moment Aston Villa, there's something going on there at the moment. And Palmer's not going to be playing in Europe either. But Aston Villa normally do turn up in these matches. That's all I will warn you about. Whereas Liverpool, they always turn up for definite in these big games. And I think that right now, Salah is just in the form of his life. In the sense of, from an FPL perspective.
Yeah.
From an FPL perspective, he's in the form of his life. In a real life perspective, he's the standout, one of the standout players for Liverpool. But today, I didn't really notice much of him today. I saw more of Gravenberch and Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Nunes was non-existent today. I don't even know. I agree with Jamie Carragher. Why are you taking off Gakpo? Take off, put him through the middle and put on Diaz on the left. Take off this Pratt Nunes, waste of space. He spends half his time.
Well, it's the old adage of what he does off the ball than what he does on the ball, isn't it? Like where he drags defenders and what spaces he creates.
He just seems to wrestle everybody.
Well, he's a big guy.
I've just seen an option for you to potentially captain Fernandes against Everton. Seriously.
Do you know what? All right, what do you reckon, chat?
And if you do, you're doing a watch along.
When is it?
With me. We can do a watch along for the 1:30 kickoffs next week.
Oh no, man! I'll be going to my sister's probably for. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know who I'm going to captain. I'll leave it on Bruno, but it'll probably be on to one of Saka or Palmer. Come the deadline, probably.
Are you aware of the news that let's call him Stu, Steve Cooper's been fired by Leicester, or he's left? One of the two.
Yeah, I heard on the game today.
I was like, what? Where's that come from? Again, they're not doing terribly. They're out of the relegation zone.
That's fashionable to fire managers before December, isn't it?
Yeah, you just come in.
Yeah, I know. It's yeah, I guess it's desperate times when you're firing a manager that soon after and not even giving it to Christmas. It's a very competitive league at the moment. It really is. For me, the most beautiful thing about this week was actually seeing Man City getting beaten by Tottenham. Like, I was a Tottenham fan for those 90 minutes. And I was cheering on Maddison. I was cheering on Kulusevski, who was like playing out of his absolute skin. Son on the left, they were all taking advantage of Man City's overconfidence in possession, and that's what it is. They get so overconfident, Man City, when they go forward. Mm-hmm. They leave so many holes, and don't get me wrong. If you're not quick, they fill those holes up pretty damn quick. But Tottenham, they were lightning. And credit where credit's due. They did a masterclass on how to counter Man City. Absolutely brilliant. And when the fourth, it was just brilliant, wasn't it? Like, just to see, apart from the fact that your bloody player scored it.
Yeah, but hold on a minute. What would you be feeling more sick about, him scoring or me having Cunha? You can't. Don't get me wrong, that was an absolute cherry on the cake, so to speak, with Johnson getting that goal. Very, very fortuitous.
What would I have preferred? Him not to have been involved in it, Steve-O, and you to get 1 point. That's what I would have preferred, mate. But at the end of the day...
Well, me and Firetog were in the same position because he had Haaland coming on for him. So he would have been at home praying that Haaland doesn't come off the bench because he had Cunha as first sub, just like me.
Oh my God, Haaland! He had. Oh, jeez, that's one to never touch. Grace an FPL manager's feels again, I think.
Before we go into the review of Man United, what are the chat saying, Jace? Who's here?
What are the chat saying? They're saying a lot of things. They're saying, John in the chat saying, "Hi guys, how are you? I'm okay. I'm gutted that the weekend's over, so I've got to go back to work in the morning. I've got to be up at the crack of dawn. Before the crack of dawn, actually, it'll be pitch black when I get up. It'll be pitch black when I drive to work. It's depressing. But on a lighter note, I'm all right, thanks. Steve, how are you?
Been stuck indoors all day. It's been horrible weather. I was actually tempted to go Heathrow for a bit of a vlog, but I thought I cannot be bothered with the weather. I'm assuming it's a storm up your end as well?
Oh, yeah, it's flooding. There's flooding all over the place, and it's going to be massive travel disruption tomorrow. There's going to be roads shut. There's going to be trains and bus routes not going. It's just going to be the usual. The moment we get any adverse weather in the United Kingdom, we seem to not be able to cope. And and the flood defences, I believe in is it Tunbridge Wells? My wife told me today that some flood defences or wall they put up has failed. I'm like, great, modern day. That's modern day engineering. That is for you. They've had a piss ton of rain in Wales. That generally means that they'll come down the Brecons and all the mountains, and it will come down into the River Severn, and it will start just flooding the hell out of where I live. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm sure it's gonna be great. I'm gonna be I'm actually working on in a water treatment, sewage treatment works. And last week we had an incident on the works where the operator of the works, one of these guys that works for the water company, left. He was desludging one of the tanks and basically left it going, or either left it going, or the pump that was supposed to pump it out of the wet well wasn't able to cope with it, and basically it overflowed the well over the concrete wall and onto the floor, like in the area, and it absolutely reeked, mate. Absolutely reeked. It was like sludge. Was it
one of those smells where you can actually taste it in your throat?
Oh, mate, it was hydrogen sulfide.
Yeah.
So we have gas monitors on our person at all times, and it was going off, and it was like, oh man, this is just ridiculous. It's like raw eggs, like it's like eggs. Like it was horrible, and But so he had a bad time. So I can only imagine that when it storms and when all the water comes, it's going to get really, really smelly, because all of the runoff water, just the capacity just diminishes, and it just has to go somewhere. So it disturbs all of the sewage, and it just goes. Fortunately, I'd have to work like that close to it, but it's close enough to smell it. Of course. So anyway,
what else are people saying?
Well, yeah, that's a minute of my life I'm not going to get back now. Other people are saying, Jace, you plan on bringing Pedro in for Welbeck? No. You taking callers tonight? No. I don't want to anyway. Kevy's here. Hello, guys. How we doing? How's the game week been? Shit.
We haven't used the C word yet. So did you see my rant? I don't think
we're not monetized. It's okay. No one's advertising on this. Shiger's here. Captain Picks will be big next week. Eraser's here. Hello, Eraser. We've got Dan. We've got Andy Dixon. Now that many going without Haaland, teams are more template now. The differential will be finding clean sheets from defenders. Dan's telling me to use all my chips. Just burn them. Just burn them now. You won't need them later on. Hey, you might not even be playing the game in Game Week 30. If you just be a ghost ship, you'll be doing your streams going, and Jason's ghost ship team is getting 81 points.
Hold on a minute. Can I? I don't know if this will work. Let me play you a message from Mr. Reed. It's not directly for you, but it is for you per se. This is just going to piss you off, Jace. Hopefully, please tell me you can hear this.
So this is Aardvark 747 here.
You hear
also
this?
known as Mr. Reed. Just want to thank everybody, really. Everybody for their patience and praise and help over the last few years to really get my FPL playing to where it should be, to finally be recognised and climb the highest of heights on the Elite Tour Mini League. I'm joking, of course. It's interesting that when you're only half invested in the game, and you not half invested, 3/4 invested, that you don't spend as long agonising on the toilet over your decisions. You just kind of think, oh God, I just got to do that. That looks all right. Let's get on with that. And you end up ascending.
And the thing is, Jace, is he's top of Tour Elite and he hasn't played the game for about 4 weeks.
He's top of Tour Elite and he hasn't played the game for 4 weeks.
He literally has done nothing. I don't think he's done anything with his. Just look at his team, Jace.
Maybe I'll just quit. I'll bring it up now.
Just look at Mr. Reed's team. Just look at it.
What the fuck?
And yet, he does absolutely.
What?
He did one transfer this week, which was Wood out for Pedro. The week before that, he took out Haaland and Rodgers and brought in Salah and Wood. He's basically made hardly any transfers this season. His first transfer.
He's got Wan-Bissaka coming on tomorrow night. He still hasn't finished. You could get over 80 points.
But he's also got Garber-Lennox coming on for Van der Ven as well.
Oh, yes.
So he's actually officially on 80 points.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, he is on 80 points. He's gonna get over it. He's gonna get at least 81 points. Wow.
Look at that front line, Pedro, Cunha and Jackson. And he's not even paying attention to the game. Wow. He literally messages me and goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot that you streamed yesterday. I'll look at my team." Done.
It's Mr. Reed. Carl Pilkington says Colmberger.
Yeah.
Burglar.
It's just madness, absolute madness. And yet, yeah, I think it is true though. I do think though that, and I think you would agree that we all kind of overthink this game a lot of the time. And actually,
that's amazing.
We don't actually need to overthink at all. We just go, that's the player in form at the moment. Bring him in, done, captain.
Shigeru says, "Oh my God, have you seen the footage of Roy Keane offering out some guy in the stand, having a go at him after the Man United game? I'll see you in the car park." No way.
What?
Yeah, was that live on Sky Sports?
Well, clearly nothing happened because he was on at the end of the game and he basically about how bad Man United were. It was absolutely hilarious. Talking about in all seriousness,
let's go through the games. Let's just go through the games because obviously we had, before the Man United game, we had the Southampton-Liverpool game where I stopped watching that game because I had to go and prepare to go to my sister's for a lovely Sunday dinner. And when I left, it was 1-0 to Liverpool, and it was it 1-0? No, 1-1.
Well, I'm assuming.
Hang on. Let me just go back because it was 1-1. Yes, it was the penalty save from Armstrong, and then on the follow up he scored, and that's it. It was 1-1 when I left, and I didn't bother finishing off the game because I was too busy sorting out the kids and stuff. I didn't even know that Salah scored twice. Do you know how I found out? Twitter. I opened Twitter and someone put, that feeling when Mo Salah scores you 2 goals and you got him captain, and it was like a gif. And I was like, what? And I went into my fantasy football. I was like, it saved my game week single-handedly. Because my game week was not going very well at all before that. But then again, most captained player, most owned. How much owned is he now?
It's got to be 50%.
It's 54. It was like 36 a few weeks ago. It's 54% now.
And now he's moved up to 14 million as well. And he's only going to go up again to 13.1.
Well, you got him anyway, haven't you?
Well, this is the point I've just seen Ray's here. I said to Ray, I'm just grateful I've got them both, Haaland and Salah. And that's why my team is actually not in such a bad shape. Yeah, I may not have Fernandes or Saka.
But Fernandes isn't exactly doing anything, is he, to be honest?
We'll get him in a minute.
Well, you know what? I might find a way of getting Fernandes out and Haaland in. You never know, mate. You never know.
Haaland?
Yeah, I might just screw it. Might just screw my team up a bit more. Just get,
bring in the worst player in the world.
No, he's not the worst player in the world. That's a bit over the top.
Good point.
Right. So yeah, Ipswich Man United. In a nutshell, what went wrong?
No, did we even finish talking about Southampton Liverpool like that? I don't remember.
No, I didn't see the game, so I can't comment on it. I just know the final score. Okay, go on then. You tell me.
It was entertaining, as Dr. Fox says to Ricky Gervais. It's entertaining. I will say that Salah was fortuitous with the two, not necessarily the first goal, but certainly the second goal was a penalty. But again, when you've got penalty takers, and what was his name? The Southampton defender accidentally knocking it onto his hand.
Harvard Bellis. Is that
who's that? Well, no, he plays for Southampton, yeah, but it wasn't him. No, it was I forget what his name is, but Sugar Guerra or something. I don't know, whatever's bloody name. It doesn't really matter. Sugar, yeah.
Yeah.
Touches his hand, is a penalty done. But once he realised he could score and get a hat trick, that's when he seemed to turn it round. Barring that, Liverpool, if they'd have gone into the second half with a 1-0 lead, I think they would have ended up probably winning 2-0, maybe even seeing out the game 1-0. But because Southampton were taking it to them, it kind of then turned into this end-to-end match, I thought. And Tyler Dibbling was on fire, particularly on the right-hand side. But did Liverpool deserve to win? Yeah, just. And I mean just. But really, again, when your luck's in, your luck's in. Salah comes away with 2 goals. Brilliant. We move on. We get on with it. But their game against Real Madrid and Man City is going to be absolutely fascinating, because they're going to have to be a much more improved performance against them too. Because if they perform like they did today against them too, there's a chance they could get an absolute hiding, potentially. No, actually, against Man City, they may, if they perform like that, get a draw. But against Real Madrid, I'm going to profess to know much about Real Madrid, but I think they could beat them at Anfield if they perform like they did against Southampton. But I think overall, the fact that Liverpool now, what was it, slots won 16 games out of 18 or something, that is absurd. For a brand new manager to come in, I'm sure you'll be wanting that with this Amiron or whatever his bloody name is for United. But obviously we move on to that game, and I thought, once Rashford scored, here we go. I think this could end up being a comfortable Man United win. We've got a resurgence here. Let's go. And then you just folded, and it was just like, come on, Ipswich, attack us. Oh, great. And then it just faded into nothing. And I think a 1-1 result was...
We didn't see anything new from Manchester United, let's be honest. We saw a different formation, but we didn't see anything new from a player point of view. And to be honest, I'm with Mark Goldbridge on this. I kind of don't want United to kind of fool us into thinking that they're not shit. I want Amorim to see how the players perform and how bad they are, so he knows that he can't work with them, and the Ineos have to make the move for new players and support him to get new players in, because none of these players he's chose to bring into the club. Obviously, he's brand new to the situation, but and the advantage is that he, like today, he can experiment with players in positions, and he can see what works and who isn't putting a shift in, I should say. And I just see him basically being the man that guts that overpaid diva-esque Man United squad and starts to bring in players that are aligned to his ethos and his work rate, because he expects nothing short of hard work and running from his players. And if you're not putting it in the shifts, then you're not worth to start the games. And I think he will be the one that moves players on. I think he will be the one that you'll see make big decisions. You're deciding, like for me, Marcus Rashford, he's living on borrowed time. He's not
100% agree with that. Yeah.
He is an embodiment of dropping off form-wise, in terms of interest in the game, in terms of, like, Amorim wants players to track back and put a shift in defence as well as attack. Yes, he was playing centre forward, but the amount of time he was just jogging around and just walking around, not really putting in much of like an effort that I saw Ahmad and Garnacho. I know even Ahmad, like today, like he's shown that he deserves a spot in that team week in, week out. He was head and shoulders above everyone else. And he's a youngster. And there's a lot of old heads in that Man United team. And they've been shown that the future is very much with the youngsters. And yeah, I just think that Amorim's going to, the fact, I don't want him to hit the ground running with that team. I don't want people to think that he can turn that team into a trophy winning team. He can't. Like, I don't believe it. And so I want people to see that it wasn't Ten Hag. It wasn't all Ten Hag's fault. It wasn't all of Mourinho's fault. It wasn't all Van Gaal's fault. There's a lot of fault and blame that you have to give onto the players. Yes, you can't get rid of a lot of players, and certainly I think it would be very, very difficult for us to sell a large amount of the players that we probably need to move on, because they're not exactly the most attractive players to be bought, and they demand a high wage. So it's going to take time. It's going to take a number of seasons. I don't think it's going to be all hunky-dory this season. I think it's going to just be a case of just trying to do damage limitation. I don't have high expectations this year, just like my FPL team. I don't have high expectations. He might surprise us. He might find a way of dealing with it, but I'm expecting there to be massive overhaul come summer and beyond, personally. But yeah, the performance today was shocking. Onana, for me, man of the match. He absolutely saved us, and I've been critical of Onana since he joined United, and I've been saying that I've not rated his performances for a long, long time. Very much like De Gea. I was critical of De Gea when he joined United, but he put in some really good saves today. Keep us in the game, because I think when all's said and done, after we got that first goal, we had a couple of chances, and certainly I hark back to the opportunity of Garnacho to square it to Rashford. He waited way too long to pass it. Whereas I think Hutchinson and what's his name, Delap, I think were very much knocking on the door. And I think on another day, Delap would have scored at least one goal. I think on another day, I think that United would have lost that game 2-1. I think we're very, very lucky that we didn't lose that game. And to be honest, if we had have lost that game 2-1, I wouldn't have felt like we were robbed.
I don't think. Again, I think the result was fair for both teams.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't a fair result. I'm saying, but let's say that Ipswich did get a second goal. I wouldn't say that it was. I wouldn't have been like, oh, that's really unlucky from our point of view. I think that we gave them a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, Well, the good news is you've got Everton next at your place, and they're absolutely they are useless, and they're going to cause you. That's going to be a much more of a different team because at least Ipswich will giving you a game, whereas Everton are literally going to be going to your place to hit on the counter. It'll be just a block of 4, 5, and then whenever Decore or Dick Calvert-Lewin or McNeil are allowed to be let loose, that's the only threat that there's going to be from Everton whatsoever. Can I just quickly to mention this point as well? Just get well soon to Alex Follow. I mean, ironically, this is Sunday surgery. He had surgery. I don't know what specifically he had surgery for, but I know he had surgery yesterday, I believe. Nothing serious. But just get well soon. More from here at FPL. Myself and Jason, we always appreciate the work he's doing with us. But yeah, I next week we'll see what you lot are all about. You'll have a second training session. In fact, you've got a Euro this week.
Mate, I don't know why, but I mean, you're not breaking up. Your microphone is like the volume's going down. I don't know if it's because you're too far away from the microphone. I don't know. Anyway, chat, can you hear that as well? It's like you're speaking, but it goes like this. It's like, so Jason, and then we can talk like that, and it's like, yo.
I don't know. Right now, it's really
yeah. So, what was the question you were going to say? Sorry,
you've completely put me off my train of thought now. What did I say? I don't even know what I said. Everton, Man United. Oh, yeah, you've got Europe this week, haven't you?
Yes, correct. A couple of days.
And who are you playing? Do you know?
We are playing. I don't remember the name of them.
Some nobody farmers team from the deepest south of Italy.
Hang on, I'm trying to find.
Is it this week or are you playing the week after? Because doesn't the Champions League come first, then Europa League, then Champions League, then Europa League? It's like a turnaround.
Thursday the 28th, we're playing Bodo.
Yeah, like I said, some farmers team from Italy. Is it at home or away?
We're at home.
Brilliant. So we're going to get another idea of what your team's going to be set up as, and then it would be interesting to see if Luke Shaw starts.
I mean, he didn't do a bad job when he came on, to be honest. He's had a lot of time away from playing, fair play. You know, it's just, I mean, he didn't make any mistakes really, because I felt the second half Ipswich were really they could have won that game. They really could have won that game. United were running out of ideas quick, and they weren't really doing anything. But I was getting so agitated. I was getting so annoyed because it was like the final minutes of the game. And I don't know if you remember this, Steve-O, but it was like 2 minutes or just going in stoppage time, and United were passing it around the 18-yard box, just passing it around like this and back again, and passing it around. And I'm like, fucking hell! You've got Xerxes, you've got Haaland. You know, they're in the box, you know.
Well, you need that Kevin De Bruyne.
Just whip a ball in. Whip a ball. Why are you not able to whip a ball in? I just don't get it. I don't get why we don't take risks and put crosses in. Majority of the time in that stage of a game, if you put a cross in and they clear it, it goes back to you anyway, because they normally lump it or they header it out. So it's not like you're necessarily going to give away ball possession. Just put a ball in, make it hard. You know, make something happen. Not just passing it around the 18-yard box. And it's like, oh.
Well, this is why you need, not you, but any team needs someone like Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, ironically, you've got Fernandes that can find that defense splitting tight pass.
Yes,
but it's like, there's no one there to do that for you.
I don't know, mate. I think that with Bruno, he's so often looking for that wonder pass, but we've not necessarily got the players that are able to predict it. There's been so many times where I've seen Bruno hit a pass and people get annoyed about it, but if the player had been on the same wavelength as Bruno, he would have been through on goal. and this is what's happened with Haaland and De Bruyne. Certainly last season, the chemistry that you have with your playmaker is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Like being a striker, and we don't have a striker that's consistent enough to build up a relationship with Bruno. Like, if you know to spin on that at that very moment, to spin on your defender and run just as Bruno gets the ball at his feet, he doesn't even have to take a touch. He just literally one touch passes it over the top, and then boom, you're 1-on-1 with a goalie. Like that sort of like chemistry, that understanding of each other's play, that comes in normally in time. And yeah, I think Bruno is quite obviously not got anyone that's really on that sort of level. So yeah, there's a lot of shit that needs to be changed at United. There's nothing new. There's no news flash here. There's no shock. There's no horror. I don't think the performance was very good, but at the same time, we didn't lose.
In this new system, so to speak, is this the team that was picked today? Is that the team that you would pick? Is there any other players that you would have replaced?
I wouldn't have played Eriksen. I would have started Ugarte personally.
Okay.
But I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, because Casemiro and Eriksen playing them together, it's like you are losing pace. But to be honest, today was mainly about just trying to control the game with experience. You got a lot of experienced heads. You got Johnny Evans. You had Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford is, you know, these players should have the game time and understanding to control the game. But unfortunately, with that, certainly Eriksen and Casemiro in the centre trying to control the midfield, you can run around them pretty quickly because they're not exactly the most paciest of players. So I probably would have started Ugarte. I mean, the defence, I thought Mazraoui played very well in the back three. Diallo in that winger, in that sort of like attacking wing back role, thought he played amazing. Diogo Dalot made a few misplaced passes and made a few mistakes, but again, I'd just let him off the hook because he's in a new system. But I probably would have started Dalot, to be honest. Anyone I wouldn't have started. Johnny Evans, I would have maybe not have started Johnny Evans. I'm surprised, but again, I think obviously there's players that are still coming back from injury. I think Mainu's not fully match fit yet, but certainly I think Luke Shaw, seeing him back on the pitch is a good sign. It is a good sign because we need people that we need people we can rely on. I think I'd have played Martinez instead of Johnny Evans. Was Martinez even on the bench?
He's not fit, is he? Is Martinez fit? I don't think he is.
Is Martinez?
Or was he suspended?
Oh, great. I've just been logged out of my FPL.
I'll just quickly check.
Yeah, someone check to tell me if Martinez is...
Yeah, so he is... okay. He had a knock, according to...
No, I don't think Martinez is injured.
So not
certainly... Wow, obviously not if he's not me.
International break.
Yeah, I don't know actually.
Because that's what you got to remember as well, that a lot of these people came back from international.
But today, I don't think he's injured at Yellow Army. I just think that it was all about trying out players and seeing how they perform today, and I don't think too much of who he started right now, because I think it's just he's kind of feeling it out, so to speak. Certainly under that new system that he's implemented. So I think that would I started anyone differently? Yeah, probably would have started Ugarte. But that'd be probably about it. If Martinez is unavailable, then yeah, we haven't got much more. Yora's not available. So therefore, Johnny Evans is probably a necessary pick because purely for numbers. And to be fair to him, he's been playing pretty consistently good, so like solid. So no, I mean Rashford centre forward. I would have probably, maybe I would have not started him. To be honest, I've got a thing about Rashford. I don't think he is cut out to be the man at the centre forward position, number 9. I just don't. And I think, is anyone in the chat wants to disagree with me, please do. But he just doesn't naturally look comfortable there. Maybe I would have kept him on the bench or started him over Garnacho on that just before, behind, and had him more play to the left hand side and have Haaland playing there instead as a bit of a hold up play, target man. But United are still United and not going to change because they're in a new formation. So there's a lot to prove for these players, and I think that Amorim has got a massive job on his hands, to be honest, a massive job. But he's got the backing of Ineos, so let's see what he does.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And I think going into next week, I mean, like we said before, next week is going to be a very interesting week for captaincy. I think, you're going to have the casuals that are going to just leave it on Haaland or Salah. No, they're going to leave it on Salah. The people that don't even play the game will just have it on Haaland because they've just had him captain for like the whole season. And the people that are engaged, it could be Fernandes captaincy versus Everton. It could be Palmer against Aston Villa, as you're potentially going with Saka away at West Ham. Some people even thinking maybe Vissa or Burmo against Leicester. Jace.
Say again, sorry?
And Burmo or Vissa against Leicester.
For what, sorry?
God, for captaincy.
No.
Well, it's the highest scoring fixture in any match at home to Brentford. Leicester concede lots of goals. It could be the one.
Is that what you're doing, is it?
No, like I said, I'm probably going to be just Palmer or Salah for
playing it safe, Steve-o.
I have to. I don't need to be risking anything at the moment. It's just play it calm. Done. That's the truth. Too early in the season to be chasing at the moment.
I'm 100 points behind Nick Reed.
100 points behind Mr. Reed.
Yeah.
How far behind Cy Bellamy then?
I don't care. I don't compare myself to such managers.
If you want to feel good about yourself, though, if you genuinely want to feel good about yourself,
where's Dan Ball?
Go in the moderator league, you'll find out.
Go in the moderator. If I genuinely want to feel good about myself, go in the moderator
league.
No.
If you want to feel good about yourself, go in the Patreon league and look at James Cordenley.
Well, I don't believe that anyone that's taking this game seriously can possibly do worse than me this season.
I'm telling you now, go in the Patreon league and it's 3rd spot. And have a look at his team and look what he did to make you feel good about yourself.
3rd spot?
Yeah.
Take a look at what he did. He benched. Oh my God.
No, forget the benching. Look at the transfers and then look at the bench.
Well, I've just seen the bench and I'm already like, is he getting anyone? No. Transfers. Son in for Nwaneri. Evan Nilsson in for Solanke. Saka in for Bowen. De Ligt in for Alexander-Arnold.
Now that Nawari, despite the fact he would never have played him, was the Arsenal youngster that scored. This was for a -12, and then obviously on the bench he's got Cunha and Pedro Porro, and he captained Palmer. He's got 1, 2, 2 players that got 0 points. In fact, he's only got 2 players that returned for him. Saka and Raya. So yeah, if you want to feel good about yourself, just look at James's team.
Yeah, but to be honest, he is still 61 points ahead of me. So there we go. Does that feeling good about myself doesn't feel so good. Yeah. Cunha captain next week, says Andy Dixon. Go for it, mate, if you want to be an absolute punter, but I wouldn't risk it if you're in a respectable league position. Play it safe, mate. Play it safe, buddy. My team shaping up for next week, we'll talk about on the preview show on Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday night. Well, I don't know
Wednesday.
when I have band practice. I'll have to find out when band practice is. Yeah, I think on that note, Steve-O, let's underline the stream tonight here so I can get myself all sorted for work tomorrow. Unless you have any final things to say, I think we just close it out.
Just a quick shout out to the people that are top in the YouTube chat league. So we've got Madeline Tudor top, Ryan Seashan following up his backside, oh, what a surprise, Andrew Dixon's here. So that means what, Jace? He's doing really well. So he's third. I'm assuming it's the same Andy Dixon. He's got
Call him out.
So he's third in the YouTube chat league. He's 22 points off Madeline Tudor. Has Andy got a Isaac playing? No, he's all out. So he's got no one playing tomorrow. And has Madeline Tudor got anybody tomorrow? The answer is yep, he's got Lewis Hall. I'll be putting. In fact, I can't put any money on tomorrow because I've got no money left. And then Danny Cole, he is at 4th spot and he's all out as well. So yeah, Andy Dixon's here in the chat right now, and it's all because he's doing really, really well in the YouTube chat league.
It's because he's obviously paying attention to what you're saying, Steve-O. You know, that's why he's doing so well. He's
in the world.
There we go. Right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's a short one tonight. That's because of I'm knackered.
Got Fabianski, sorry. Andy's got Fabianski tomorrow.
Oh, well, 2 points. Right. Good night, everybody. See you Wednesday or Thursday. We'll let you know. I think it'll probably be Thursday.
Oh, okay.
On that, right. Should we do a little song?
Play a song, please. Crack on.
You could have Captain Salah. See you later.